Welcome back to Shirley's Soaps and Everything Beautiful. Today we'll be making this shea butter. This shea butter is the emulsified shea butter, and I'm gonna add a little mango butter and a little oil with it. And here you see me. I have my oils and my water with my glycerin already heated up and poured in my pan. And now what I'm doing now is emulsifying them together because as you know, water and oil does not mix, and that's what I'm doing right now. So I'm doing it with my stick blender. What I need to do is get these oils and water and butters all blended together so that they will combine and stay together. So that's what you see me doing right now. And in this, I'm taking the temperature to see how hot it is because it has to cool down. And as I got it blended up, I'm gonna let it cool down and then come back and stir it and keep it stirred and blend it till it cools down so that it won't have any lumps in it, that it'll be smooth. So that's why you see me blending it up here with my stick blender. And so what I have here in my bowl is my water with glycerin, my wax, which is emulsifying wax, and my stearic acid, my shea butter, argan oil, and mango butter, and jojoba oil. So I'm emulsifying those together. And later I'll add my vitamin E and my fragrance oil. I'm emulsifying it because that's what gonna make it hold up in this heat, and also it seemed not to be as greasy, especially if you use like organic oil and jojoba oil. They kind of moisturize and feed the skin and pulls the ingredients into the skin instead of laying on top. That's why you never see me using olive oil with any of my lotions or my body butters, because olive oil is very conditioning, but it sits on top of the skin. You want to stick with the more lighter oils and oils that's gonna pull the moisture and down into the skin. So here it's cooling down, and I'm just trying to make sure I keep it stirred. And when the temperatures drop down lower, you will see me add in my vitamin E oil and blend it in and mix it together. I like for it to be like under 120 degrees. And then when I put my fragrance oil in, which I have my preservative mixed with my fragrance oil, I like to be like under 115. So any temperature between 87 to like 114, I will add those fragrance oil and my preservative. So I measure them out and put them in that beacon and that you see in my hand right here. So I'm going ahead on to add my vitamin E oil. The temperature is under 120. So I was debating whether to go ahead and put my preservative and my fragrance oil in, and I chose to wait a little longer. So I'm gonna go ahead and blend in my vitamin E oil because at this point the temperature is like 114. So I'm gonna go ahead and blend my vitamin E oil up within to the butters mixture. And this vitamin E is really good for your skin and your hair, nails. So I like to use it in my products when especially when I'm using like making lotions and oils and things, because also vitamin E keeps your oils and stuff from going rancid on you, and it's good for your skin. So it's nice to go ahead and add vitamin E into your lotions, your oils, your butters. So it protects you from going rancid. But you still, if you're using a water in any lotion or butter that you're making, you always want to use a preservative. So that's why I put the preservative with my fragrance oil, and I'm gonna add it in because you don't want any mold and anything growing in there. So you want a good long life shelter. You want to get to enjoy using your butters and your lotions because they emulsify. You need to add in a preservative. And there's a lot of plant-based preservative out here that you can choose from. And there's um, preservative because you're not gonna use a lot. You're only gonna use like um, under 1% of your weighted volume. So that's only a small amount of preservative. It's not even enough to, I mean, to hurt you in any kind of way. And plus, you're using a preservative that is um, don't have formaldehyde in it. So you want to make sure you're doing the right thing to keep everything healthy. So yeah, please use a preservative, people. You don't want mold in your stuff. And preservatives are, you're only using a small amount. It's not a lot to affect you. And you can get to choose because they have so many. They got one made with reddish from a reddish plant. Uh, so from roots. So they out there. I mean, do your research. I never tell anybody what preservative I use because I think that should be on your own. What you choose to use in your products should be your own um, decision and research. So I did a lot of research on my preservatives, and I get the plant based ones and use those mostly in my products. I'm back. It's starting to thicken up because it's cooling down. This pan has this rubber part on the bottom. It's good for hot stuff to be sit on surfaces, but it slows down the process of cooling. It takes its own time. So as you can see how thickening it up on my spatula here, what I'm gonna do, I'm blend it a little bit with my stick blender. I went with the Stance coconut fragrance with a little vanilla and honey. Um, because I think those fragrance kind of complement shea butter. Cause I didn't use the refined. I use unrefined shea butter, and it has a smell to it. The mango butter really doesn't have a smell. So I went with that fragrance because I think it complements it. I think any like cocoa fragrance, coconut, something like that would complement it, because you know how people were like, I like the shea butter, but I don't like the smell of it. Well, you have to use something that's like kind of nutty or in its line of fragrance to complement it so it blends in with it so it doesn't have that. And it's coming out beautiful. See, it's sticking up. And as it cools, it'll get even thicker. And I'm gonna pipe them in these 6-ounce jars that I have. So now my customers will have this nice shea body butter that will moisturize their skin and won't melt down. So I'm gonna let it go ahead and cool on down some more before I pipe it into the jars. So I think we're ready to pipe. This shea butter, body butter, is all the way cooled down to room temperature. It's at 87. So I like to use my bags to pipe. So what I do is I put it in there, get my scale going. Okay. And see how pretty it is? It's almost like a lotion. Because it's emulsified body butter. So it'll hold up. It'll be more creamier and more moisturizing for your skin and not heavy on your skin. Okay. Got my scissors and snip this little end off. Got that end snipped off, and here we go. So that's over 6 ounces in here. I'm gonna let it stay open so it finish cooling down so it don't get on. So refill my bag. I need to get some bigger bags. So in this body butter, I have shea butter is my main butter. I have mango butter, and I have jojoba oil, organic oil, as my oils, and my vitamin E oil, and my fragrance oil, which is Stance coconut, but just a chase of honey, vanilla. I always put a little bit more. Give my customers a little bit more than 6 ounces. These are cosmetic jars. They come already sanitized and cleansed, but I always spray them down with 99% alcohol, and then I let it sit and evaporate. So, make sure that they're good and sanitized and clean, and they have their own sealing in the lids. The lids already got their own, so when you close it, it seals it. So when I buy my my containers, I always get the ones for cosmetics that made for cosmetics that they already been sanitized and prepped in a way that they know that they need to be sterilized and clean. So all I have to do is spray them down. And they be having this like little white clear plastic over, they have it like over the jar and close over the jar, and then the lid close on top of that, and then the cover over that. They have it extra protected, so dust or nothing can get in them, because they know they're for cosmetics. So I pay attention to details like that when I order my containers from my different suppliers that I use. That was almost 6. I made some soap with this fragrance, and my customers, they loved it. They was like, but it don't even smell like coconut. It's a stance coconut. So they're smelling the different notes in it. So it does not, it's not strong coconut fragrance. Okay. I pinched that off because I folded it back like that. So then I put it in my cup, it doesn't leak out. So that was 4. This one almost 6 and a half. So that was 4. I didn't think I was gonna get that much out of it, but no, I'm not gonna sell them yet. I let them cool completely down before I sell them, because I don't want any condensation and sitting up in them. So we got those 4. Look like I have enough to make maybe 1 and a half. The half would be for me. I always use my own products. So thank you. Thank you for watching. And I did get 6 ounce jars of this shea butter, body butter, emulsified body butter. It came out really nice. And here's a close-up look so you can really see how beautiful it came out and the texture of it. And I tried it. It feels real good on my skin. I had 2 ounces left over, so I kept those 2 ounces for testers and for me to test on me. And I really like it. It's not heavy, and the argan oil and jojoba oil is doing its job. It's pulling the moisture right into the skin, the epidermis of the layers of the skin. So if you like this video, share, like, share, and subscribe. Till next time. Thank you.